He is here. Burt Ward arrived on the building via helicopter, ran down the hallway, came in the control room, and first thing he said, "Holy tardiness, Mark and Brian. I'm here." He is in the building. We are just damn proud to present him to you. Burt Ward, who, of course, played Robin on Batman and Robin, has now joined us. Burt, welcome.
Hello, citizens.
Holy cow. Man, you look like Robin. I mean, you haven't changed a bit.
Well, maybe it's the tights.
Yeah. Well,
nobody wore a cape like you did, Burt.
Well,
all right, let's read a little bit about him. This is his biography, and you'll probably agree with us that he is the perfect human being.
right
Well,
there with
my mother
Burt
says
Convey. I'm not kidding you.
Born in Beverly Hills, California, July 6, 1945, Burt began his professional show business career at the tender age of 2, billed as the world's youngest professional ice skater. In school, Burt scored high in academics as well as sports, rated in the top 3% of the country in math and science. He also established, according to the teacher...
top 3% in the country?
Top 3% in the country.
Burt.
In math and science.
Did you carry a calculator on your belt?
His bat calculator.
Yeah.
He also established, according to his teacher and coach, the highest recorded reading speed in history. A staggering 30,000 words per minute with 90% comprehension. Not surprisingly, Burt played first board on Beverly Hills High School's championship chess team. He likewise...
Wait, a chess team?
Yeah.
Burt. Come on, buddy. The chess team?
He and Batman knocking out some serious chess there. He likewise took athletics seriously, a decathlon champion. He found time to compete on the Beverly Hills High School golf, wrestling, and track teams. Later on, Burt would earn a black belt in karate, and to this day he enjoys activities ranging from scuba diving, water skiing, tennis, baseball, horseback riding, hiking, camping, horse racing. During school, he also managed to become an accomplished pianist.
So an accomplished pianist. Sure, but can you dance?
The perfect human being. He lives, he speaks, he walks. He's Robin.
Now, you're right up there with Burt Convey and John Davison, man. I mean, you are the perfect human being. Well, again, welcome.
Well, it's great to be here. You know, I must tell you, normally we, Batman and I, don't go to anywhere where there isn't a crime.
Of course you don't.
Of course, there may be a crime here this
We
morning.
don't want you to do any investigating because you may dig something up, and that's not good for anybody in the room.
A lot of people have a lot of questions on the phones for you about the show, and we do too. One of my main questions always has been, when it first came out, I was pretty little, but I do remember it was in prime time.
Right.
Batman
Twice
was in
a week.
prime time. Twice a week prime time?
Was it really?
Tuesday and Thursday night, 7:30.
Boy, y'all were busy.
What was your
yeah.
target market? Was it the adult or was it the children?
No, I'll tell you, it was everybody. We used to say that we put on our tights to put on the world. In fact, we were the only superheroes that wore our underwear on the outside of our clothes.
Kind of special.
Oh, absolutely. We
I do that on Thursday night. I don't want to get into it.
Only
though.
on Thursdays, though.
I don't want to get into it.
No, but we played our show very straight for the kids. It was written very funny, so by playing it straight, it made it like doubly funny for the teenage and college kids. And the older people enjoyed the nostalgia of the comic book. So there was something for everybody. And because Batman was done with a certain irreverence towards things, and the comedy was crazy, and the fact that you had villains, that whenever we shot the villain scenes, the camera was always crooked because they were, of course, crooked.
There you go.
That we had a lot of fun, and we were an innovator. And to this day, you know, when I meet people, of course, a lot of people, you know, are awed by meeting celebrities and stuff. But when I meet people, because of the Batman show, there's always a twinkle in their eye, and there's always kind of a smirk in the corner of their mouth.
Because we all watched it.
It was a lot of fun. It was craziness, you know. And
Plus, you represented good. Total good.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
have to be pure and antiseptic today.
Let us go ahead and say, too, Burt, you were mean on that bat pole. Never have we seen anybody wolf down that thing like you.
Well, I tell you have to be very careful with the bat pole, because when you run to the bat pole, if you jump on the wrong pole, you end up in the wrong costume.
It always struck me kind of funny. After you'd slide down the bat pole, both you and Batman, Alfred would always come up and just kind of fondle it after. Why was that, Burt?
I don't know. I think he kept it well dusted in oil so we could slide down without any abrasions.
Go ahead, Alfred. All right, Burt, there's a lot of questions on the phone. We have a lot more questions, and we do hope that you can stick with us for a while, because we got a few commercials, we got some news.
Better damn stick with us. You were late. Better.
Fighting crime.
That's right.
Out there fighting crime.
That's right.
Y'all stand by. Burt Ward, again, Robin from Batman and Robin is with us, and he'll stay with us for a while. So you have any questions, you call us and let us know.
Before we take some calls and play Ask Burt, we were going to ask you, now, I guess you're like Slim Whitman now, because Batman and Robin, big in England, like bigger than in the United States.
Yeah, well, Batman is shown in, 104 countries all over the world right now. And in the United States, it's some 65 million people a week. And in England, it just came on to replace Good Morning London or whatever because they have a big TV strike. And apparently the station over there added more than 100,000 new viewers from Batman. In fact, they've been saying that they don't want the news back when the strike is over. They just want to have Batman.
Really? It's kind of neat with 80s television, there being so many cable systems and so many independent TV stations, and with syndication. Batman and Robin are probably more popular now than they were when the show was prime time, or as popular.
Well, put it this way. Then we had a real big audience, but today we have basically that audience, maybe not quite as strong, but a good portion of that audience, plus a new audience, because the kids of the parents who were kids then are watching Batman. And there's a whole 60s movement right now, and a lot of talk. There's a lot of interest in redoing the Batman series, and
Love
perhaps
to see it.
the Batman movie. We don't know yet if we're going to be in the Batman movie. There's going to be a Batman movie. There's been talk for 5 years.
And I've heard there's a big controversy. You guys want to do it now? Who's saying that you shouldn't do it? The producers?
Well, the producers have an idea that they want to do a very serious Batman. That it's supposed to be very dramatic, heavy.
How can you? You can't.
I don't know. I don't know how it can compete with the fact that our series is all over the, and people are known to like us for the fact that we can play it straight for the kids and yet make it really funny for the adults.
Well, you haven't changed a bit, so you could hold up. But what about Adam West?
Adam is in great shape.
Is he?
Oh yeah. He doesn't live here in LA anymore.
He wasn't in great shape when Batman was filmed. He had the love handles going on there.
Well, let me tell you, he's had to get in great shape since then. But Adam is living out in Idaho now, and he's getting himself together, and he's doing a lot of films. I mean, he's a fantastic guy. But the question is do the producers want to do what the people with the Lone Ranger did, which is use someone else, and look what happened with the film.
Right.
Or if you look at what happened with Star Trek, they use all the original people, and they're making Star Trek 5. I think it's it's clear that we as actors became inextricably identified with our characters to the point where it stereotyped us from doing other work. It would make no sense if that is, which is a fact, for us to be replaced, because the very thing that we were stereotyped to do would be the thing at the very least that we should do.
So it'll probably take you off to tell you then that they approached us to be Batman and Robin for the movie.
They did. We were tied up. We had like a movie and washing our cars on that particular
Plus,
weekend.
they couldn't find trunks to fit us.
But other than that, we think you know what we're talking about.
I think you know.
Absolutely.
And plus, keep in mind, Burt Ward just used the word inexplicably. What was the word again?
Inextricably.
We have no idea what that means.
We got to jot that down and look it up later on.
We have some slimy scumwad listeners who'd like to ask you a few things.
Don, you on the phone?
Yeah.
What's your question?
Hi. I'd like to say this is Don Winter, for one thing.
Great, thanks, Don. Appreciate you getting your name on the air there. Thanks a lot.
Is this Mark and Brian?
And
Yes.
Burt.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your question, Don?
Okay, hi, Bert.
Hi.
Who is your favorite adversary on the show?
Well, all those heinous villains, you can't have favorites. I mean, these are evil, rotten people. Let me see. Of all the villains that we came across, I'd have to say the most fearsome was the IRS. I mean the Joker.
You comedy gangster, you.
All right, Don, thanks for your question.
Well, but, I mean, who did you like working with? Because you worked, the villains were wonderful actors.
Oh, yeah, we had some great people. Cesar Romero was a Joker.
Oh, now that was mine.
Julie Newmar was Catwoman.
Yeah. My favorite was the Riddler.
Yeah, Frank Gorshin.
Do you want to hear my Riddler laugh?
Yes.
That's all I can do.
It looked like it when you did it.
Yeah,
Holy contortions.
Holy yes,
Face.
sir.
But who was your favorite, the guy to work with?
I really liked working with all of them. I mean, everyone added something. I think Victor Buono, who was King Tut, was hilarious.
He was very funny.
And Burgess Meredith, the Penguin, was incredible.
Who was the worst? Who did you hate to work with?
Well, I really didn't hate to work with any of them. Everybody. I mean, there's more actors and actresses than you would imagine. Joan Collins played the Siren on Batman. Tallulah Bankhead played Black Widow. I mean, there's a lot of actors that are very famous actors, and I enjoyed working with every one of them. I mean, after all, I was like really a kid. I was 20 years old, and for me to work with all these, super heavyweights was a wow.
We're taking up all the listener time here because we wanted to play Ask Burt, but I have one more question. When you were climbing the wall,
yes,
every time you'd climb the wall, there would be some obscure guest just pop out of the window.
Right.
Who was the most obscure or the most famous?
Oh, all right. Well, that's a tough question. What they did is there were so many actors and actresses that wanted to be guest villains on the show, and there was no room because you only had, we're 2 shows a week, and that's all. So what they did is they created these cameo roles so they could get more celebrities on them. I mean, we had people like Sammy Davis Jr. and Don Ho. And
my favorite was Martin and Lewis. Pop it out of the window. Odin.
All right, we have a lot of people on the phone. We have a lot more stuff to talk about. Again, Burt Ward, who played Robin on Batman and Robin, is joining us today. We'll get back with that. We do have sports snorts we got to deal with, and that's next. So let's go ahead and go to the phone, find someone who has a good question for Burt Ward. So here we go. Jim?
Yes.
What's your question?
My question is, where's Batman?
Well, Batman has got his hands full. He was out very late last night chasing Catwoman. I understand he's quite hot in pursuit of her.
Yeah.
Sure he is.
Yeah, I bet so.
So,
and the bad thing about those tights, I mean, it shows everything.
Ain't no question about it. Them leotards are being stretched to the fullest.
So if you got it for somebody, everybody knows. The whole room knows.
Got anything in that?
I got another question.
Yes.
Okay, you're supposed to be doing the job of fighting crime.
yes, wherever it rears its ugly head, and I've seen a few ugly heads this morning.
How come you're not doing your job? You got the Joker and the Riddler sitting right there. Arrest them, bust them.
It was a good
Immediately after the show, citizen.
Now, before his question before was, where is Adam West? What is he doing now?
Oh, Adam's doing all kinds of films and stuff. He lives up in Idaho. He likes to get out and get the fresh air, and he comes back to L.A., and Adam is a partner of mine in my business.
What business is that?
It's called A Night with the Stars, and what we're doing is we help organizations and charities raise money through motion picture entertainment events put on there.
Oh, it's something nice.
Oh, absolutely. And of course,
we can't joke about it. Then.
Robin has a young cousin, Early Bird. And Early Bird is a new character for the boys and girls in preschool that represents everything that is good and wholesome. And
this is a picture
teaches,
of it?
Yes, that's Early Bird. And Early Bird, boy, my sister plays Early Bird, by the way. It's my, and Early Bird runs around, and boy, he teaches the boys and girls common sense and safety. And it's a really, seriously, it's
That's
a really
great.
super good program for preschools, and it teaches, morals and all that kind of stuff. So maybe we have some better citizens when they grow up. Huh?
Well, Burt, does the old Robin outfit, does it still fit?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it's going to fit. It's going to be stretched to its ultimate test.
Yeah.
This Sunday, I'm going to be appearing from 12 to 4:30 over at the LA Convention, the LA Gift Show. I'm going to be in my costume with autographed pictures. Going to be fighting these heinous villains,
Heinous villains.
Well, I hate when they come out.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Those are the worst
Signing
kind.
autographs, taking a tremendous whipping.
We'll take another call,
Sunday.
but before we do, can you give us a couple holy cows or holy
All
something?
right, I just did some radio spots for the fact that the Grammys are coming up, and they asked me to do a holy, and I think I came up with Holy Hot Platters Batman. It's the Grammys.
Oh, gosh. Does that bring back some memories?
Holy awards, Batman. All right, Burt, we got a question. Yes, your question, please.
Hey, who makes the fuel for that car, and what's it made out of? The Batmobile.
Yes, well, we use our atomic pile.
I don't want to know what that is, Burt.
Highly radioactive.
That's when Adam
elements.
West eats Mexican food the night before.
Been to Taco Bell, have you, Adam? The bat pile.
the atomic bat pile.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian, last night I had a dream that KLOS threw a party, and I had to wear black, and all they played was disco. It was horrible.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you calling.
Thanks so much.
Really good to have you.
Let us know when you get out.
Wonderful. All right.
All right, we're still asking, we're still playing Ask Burt if you have any questions. And the thing of it is, we have so many questions we want to ask, and we got to try to let the listeners ask theirs.
Yeah.
We'll come back to it. We have commercials that we've got to do.
Golly gee willikers.
This is KLOS. We're 95.5. Mark and Brian.
You're really creative. You make up things
Don't
you know.
try to change the subject. Don't try to
pure.
change the subject.
Batman and Robin always
Come on.
fight crime.
All right, so you're not going to tell it. You're not going to tell it.
What story?
Oh, man, I got to slap you. Now, last week, Danny Bonaducci comes on and tells us that he lost his virginity on the set of The Partridge Family to a 28-year-old woman. He was 12.
Really?
Now, this story doesn't top that, so you're safe.
That's absolutely heinous.
Heinous. Let's jot that one down. Look
Great.
that up again a little
Well,
later.
I think that actually was involved in the actual act, but
we're thinking.
I don't want to get
We're
into
thinking
that
we're
sort of
going
thing.
back.
Okay, you're not going to tell the story? Fine.
All right. We do have a lot of listeners on the phone that have questions about
We'll tell it tomorrow.
various things. All right, let's go see what we got. Paul, you on the phone?
Yes, I am.
All right, Paul, what's your question?
How you doing? How you doing, Burt?
Fine, Paul.
Okay, the question I have for you is I'm referring to that show with the Green Hornet and Kato, and I just wanted to ask you, what was it like to work with Bruce Lee?
Bruce was a personal friend of mine, besides being, an actor that we worked with when we did that one show with, Kato and Green Hornet. Bruce was a really super guy. In fact, we had lived within like 100 yards of each other out here in Los Angeles when we were shooting both his show and my show, and we used to get together. Bruce, I'm a black belt in karate, and of course Bruce was one of the finest, experts in kung fu, and we used to spar together, which is the style of, fighting, practice fighting. And he was a great guy. We used to go to dinner, but he was very dedicated. I mean, here's a guy that would work like 8 hours a day, even around the shooting, exercising, practicing his kicks, and I mean, he was so totally enmeshed in the Oriental martial arts that it was like his whole life.
So in your sparring, do you ever smack you around some?
Well, we fight, and you do get hit. I mean, you can't help it, But,
Bruce Lee smacking you upside the head.
Yeah, but when Burt Ward spars with Bruce Lee, he goes, zowie, zip, pow, biff, biff.
He couldn't deal with my utility belts. Too much for him.
All right, let's see what other
I got your
calls we
utility
have.
belt. Yeah.
Morning, KLOS. You're on the phone with Burt Ward.
Hi, Bert. I need to know what the last song played on KMET was.
Get off the
That's-
phone. What the hell are you doing?
I don't
It
understand.
must be
that.
obviously a joker.
I suppose.
A female joker.
What do we got?
You're on the air with Burt Ward.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Fine, citizen.
Hey, I just wanted to know about those Biff and Baff subtitles. Did those come from the utility belt, and did they really help you fight them, or what?
No, actually, what it was the tremendous impact of our fists on their face and body that created this enormous explosion of visual opticals of the zap and pow, which were added later.
All right, we felt that.
A quick second part to that question, too. Do you think Larry Holmes could use those subtitles in the fight tonight?
I don't know. I
they'll help
think
him?
maybe Adam or I ought to join him in the ring there.
He could use
He's
the
going to
help.
need something tonight.
He'll need it.
Maybe he needs some bad aspirin.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Biff.
Okay, now, question I have, the Bat Cave is probably the actual outdoor scene of the Bat Cave. It's probably around here somewhere. is
Yeah, it was
not?
shot up in Bronson Canyon, which is up in the Hollywood Hills. The interior of the Batcave was shot on set, Stage 16, over at Desilu Studios. Of course,
So it doesn't exist.
well, it's gone to the great Batcave in the
Calm down.
sky.
Well, I'm a little depressed about it.
But do you ever drive over there and take a look at the old Bat Cave? Cause
Well, I've done some other shooting of other things up in the area, so I do occasionally see it. But it's way up in the hills there, and it's a great set. It's used for a lot of movies and stuff. That area in Bronson Canyon.
how is it that the Batmobile could be sitting on sand on the beach, and yet when you and Batman would hop in the car, and by the way, you two hopped in the car like no other duo I've ever seen.
Yeah, we jumped.
You
over
were
the door.
you were out of hell when it came to getting in the Batmobile.
Your eyes locked on the stick shift.
But when the car would take off on sand, there would be a screeching noise like you're taking off on the street now.
Yes.
That was
How
great.
is it? The Batmobile was just it would dig down to find earth and rock or something, or how did that happen?
No, it was the fact that we had a 500 horsepower engine in there.
Oh, yeah.
And that thing was it was very powerful. I mean, the Batmobile really moved, and people said, "Oh, was it really a car?" Of course it was. I mean, we drove it all around Los Angeles when we were filming. It was a lot of fun. It was a heavy car, so that when we would do, I mean, it had so many things on it. It did the emergency bat turn, for example, where you pull the lever,
Right.
and what happens? The parachutes come out the back that slows the car. The brakes lock on the right side that causes this car to go into a spin.
Ooh.
We detach the parachutes and drive off the other way. Well, on the series, because there was a whole thing about littering at that time, so we had to go out and film a special episode in which Alfred picked up the parachutes with the parachute pickup truck. And then we had another thing when we were wearing our utility belts, and we got into the Batmobile, and Batman said, "Robin, you're not wearing your seatbelt." I said, "Oh, that we're only going a couple of blocks." He said, "Oh, but it goes into this whole National Safety Council thing."
Didn't he smack you then? Wasn't that the show where he
No,
smacked
I
you?
wouldn't dare.
Okay. You want to take one more call?
All right, let's see what we got here. Morning, you're on the air with Burt Ward. What do you got?
Yes, I'd like to know who played his aunt on the show.
Aunt Harriet,
Yes,
an actress named Madge Blake.
because I've seen her in a lot of old TV movies and
Yeah, she was a real super lady. It was kind of funny, a little anecdote on Batman. She was always very nervous when she would do her scenes, and if you stood next to her, she would always kind of like shake a little bit. And if she ever got a grip on you, I mean, you couldn't get away. I got in more trouble. They said, "Hey, Burt, you're supposed to move on that scene." I said, "Well, I couldn't move, And she'd get this grip on you because she was so nervous about remembering her lines.
You should have taken taken out the bat hatchet and just chopped on her a little while. That might have handled it.
I've got another question. What about the butler? Who is that butler, too?
Alfred.
Alfred was played by Alan Napier, who is a really nice man. And Alan is, people are amazed because they say, gee, Robin, I thought you were a lot smaller, because I'm 5'8", and Adam, who played, Batman, was like 6'4", and Alan Napier, who played our butler, he was 6'9.5".
Jeez.
And I mean, and so it was really amazing because these guys were so gigantic, and I was looking like I was like 2 feet tall or something next to him.
Tiny, I remember.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for calling.
Uh-huh.
We'll see you.
Come on, Bert, tell the story.
Golly gee willikers.
The hotel story. You got to tell it.
Golly gee willikers.
No, we always...
Can I tell it?
Absolutely not.
Come on, let me tell it.
No.
All right, we're going to try to talk him into
You
it.
guys are so funny.
While we're doing it, we're going to play some commercials because we're way behind. KLOS, you're on the phone with Burt Ward.
Hi.
Hi.
I wanted to ask Bert if he ever had a guest appearance by Tammy Faye Baker on the Batman show.
No, geez.
As much as they tried.
No,
Really?
no.
Also, I want to tell you guys, I saw you guys at the Anaheim Stadium, and you guys are really cute.
Well, my goodness. Holy compliments.
Ooh, a giggler.
All right, well, thank you for calling.
Okay,
Thank you.
wait.
Yes?
I want to say hi to Craig and tell him...
Get
Get off the phone.
KLOS, you're on the phone with Burt Ward. Well, I guess maybe you're not.
KLOS.
Hi.
You got a question?
Yeah.
Hi. You got a question for Bert?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Want me to tell it to you?
Well, he's here.
You can ask
you're on
me
the air with
directly.
him.
Oh, I'm on the air right now?
Yeah.
My question is, I wanted to know how old he was when he started on Batman and Robin.
Let's see. I'm 19 now.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
20.
Yeah.
20 years of age.
You were 20?
Yes.
You were 20 years of age?
And so we were surprised to find out how old this man is, because he does look about 30, maybe 31 right now.
Well, he's the perfect human being. Everything
that's
he
true.
does is perfect.
But you're
I have another
42?
question.
Yes.
Okay. All right, go back with your question.
My other question was, what are you doing after the show?
Well, I do a lot of personal appearances all across the country.
No,
I have other
it's
films I'm
nothing
doing.
like
I just finished a
that.
film called Night School.
I don't think that's what she's talking about, Robin.
What did you have in mind?
Bert,
Ma'am, all we'll say is that, his name is the Boy Wonder.
The Boy Wonder.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Wowie
that.
zowie. Holy heartthrob.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, if you want to get his phone number, he'll pass it along to you after the show's over, okay?
Okay.
All right, hang on.
Maybe he'll tell you the story about the hotel. Maybe he'll reenact it with you, baby.
Morning. You're on the air with the Boy Wonder.
Good morning.
Morning.
Bert,
Yeah.
my name is Doug. My father, Jack Jackson, was the sound effects editor for the Batman movie.
Oh, yeah.
And at the private screening at Century Studios when it was first released, I sat between you and Julie Newmar. And, of course, I don't exactly remember how old I was, but it must have been about 8 or 9, and got both of your autographs.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yes, it's been a long time since I've heard your name.
Well, listen, we recently had a big show down at Rancho Santiago College down in the Santa Ana where we had a Batman reunion. We had a tremendous turnout. I mean, they sold out the place. And there's been a lot of talk and a lot of requests about doing Batman reunions and Batman nights. And somebody is trying right now to put together something down at the Stock Exchange Club in L.A. and a few other clubs around the country. And so if we're in L.A., you'll have to come out and see us and have some fun.
All right, now, a question that I have is, with the bat pole, when it was time to really go out there and fight some crime,
Yes.
You and Batman would get a running start,
Absolutely.
and you'd spread your legs and slam yourself into that pole. Now, there must have been like a bat cup or something to protect you from...
No, let me explain. The big problem was getting changed so fast, sliding down that pole.
Yeah, that'd be
very
tough.
difficult.
Yeah.
But we had help. We had a wardrobe man who was formerly a fireman. He slid down the pole behind us and helped us get dressed, so we had no problem.
Well, y'all are pretty rapid with that damn thing, I'll be honest with you. Dancing around them answers, aren't you, Bert? All right, we've got 1 minute till 9, not too far behind. One more break with Robin, the Boy Wonder. Burt Ward, he's here, and if you have a question for him, do pass it along to us.
A bat cup?
How to read approximately, I think he quoted a figure around 20,000 words a minute. He was saying, well, if Robin can read that fast, you guys could get, at least a couple thousand words a minute.
So the teacher used Bert as an example?
Right, exactly.
Actually, it says here in his biography, the highest recorded reading speed in history, a staggering 30,000 words per minute with 90% comprehension. Is this true? Can you do this?
Well, yeah, you can't do it all the time. What you have to do is like anything else, you train, like Larry Holmes is training for tonight.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, sure.
Training to get whipped.
Yeah.
But seriously, you have to train, and I would be able to do probably today 5,000 or 6,000 words a minute, which is still, the average reader reads about 120 to 150 words a minute. So it's still very, very fast.
Right.
But if I get back and train,
when I was
you'll
going
get back
through
up
the
there.
course, it was real hard. for the training. We used to rubber band the book and use these different hand motions.
Yes, well, that was practice for my Batman days, not those hand motions.
Did that help you out with your scripts?
Yes, give me a good memory. All right, thanks, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Take it easy. KLOS, you have a question for Burt?
Yeah, you already asked me.
Well, no, we screened it earlier. What do you got? You're on the air. I haven't heard it, though. We're live now.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how you like... You know how...
Go ahead, hon. Get a grip on
you
yourself.
like to make people good, right? Because you're always getting the bad guys, right?
Right.
I've been real bad lately, and I need some spankings from him.
Oh, holy masochism. Well, Burt, would you like to spank this girl? I think I better call Batman. I'm only 15 and a half. I wouldn't know about these things.
15 and a half what?
All right, well, I guess you're not going to get a spanking from him.
Oh, God, I've been so
Tell you what, if you come down to the LA Gift Show on Sunday when I'm in my costume and you create a scene, I can...
I'll just show you my butt and you can get it, right?
Zowie. Yeah, buddy. Can we have your address? Can we just real quick? What is it? We're kidding. Thanks for calling.
All right.
Now, we're going to go into 30 minutes of non-stop and rockin'. You've got some things going on this weekend. Sunday, as a matter of fact. You've got
a big appearance at the LA Gift Show, the LA Convention Center, 12...
This is a brand new thing that Ann Cerrusi, and again, Ann of the promotions department is the young lady that sets all of our guests up who get Burt Ward and Danny Bonaducci, and she bought us a guest book, a special Mark and Brian guest book. We'd like you to sign it.
Oh, great. Let me see this guest book.
Fill it out.
Well, wait a minute. No, do I sign my name after Jim and Tammy Baker? Am I the
just
next
beyond
one?
them if you would. Just right below them. That'd be great.
Then, Ronald Reagan? President Reagan?
We're
Golly
special.
gee willikers. Holy heavyweights.
What can we say? We're special.
Burt, you're a comedy gangster. We also want to present you with the official Mark and Brian combination back scratcher shoehorn. Now, this is a real popular item, and we're just glad to be able to give it to you on this very illustrious day.
What an honor. This is very nice. It has your name on it. Mark and Brian, KLOS 95.5. I can scratch my back and use this to...
Or whatever you feel like.
Or my tights.
Whatever you want to... How old is your daughter?
My daughter. I've got a daughter, 21.
Okay, she'll get a kick out of that.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, they don't call me the boy wonder for nothing. All right.
All right. Again, Burt Ward, our special guest. We certainly appreciate that, and we'll be looking. You said Batman is on Sunday afternoons on Channel 13?
Well, yeah, it's on Channel 13. They vary it sometimes Saturday, sometimes Sundays, and they bring it on and off, but Batman is shown, and it's shown all over the country. So tune in, watch it, have some fun, and come see me this Sunday.
That we shall.
Many thanks for coming in, Burt. We do appreciate it. You're a lot of fun.
Thank you, citizen. To the Batmobile!